But speaking of petty, childish, silly things, I woke up this morning to, when I get the first thing I do, it's so unhealthy, but the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is look at Twitter. And this morning, one of the first things I happened to see on Twitter was a beef unfolding between the Young Turks and Emma Vigeland. And I'm going to start you with this this clip from Emma's Twitter account.
That Francesca Fiorentini is currently attacking you about this as if Donald Trump is unique. He's novel compared to past presidents, certainly a special kind of evil that we've never seen before. In her mind, these are the gulags that she was warning about. But in fact, this has been a long-standing practice. You can be against that practice, but Donald Trump isn't doing anything new here.
Yeah, so I'm going to address it. I think that the clip that Francesca's using is misleading and totally out of context, but that's okay. But I know that—
No, it's not okay. No, it's not okay. That's dishonest.
Yeah, it's not okay. Like, it's misleading and misleading and out of context, or being dishonest. Like Anna Kasparian has any problem being dishonest. I'm going to lie about Jimmy Dore's sexual assault, committing sexual assault, completely fabricated claims that she even messaged him a thread about before she put out. So anyway, spare me your outrage, Anna.
No. Is not okay.
Yeah,
but continue. Go ahead.
I hear you.
Dishonesty is not okay.
I don't mean to.
But she's getting the likes that she
unless you're using it in a weaponized way against people you have disagreements with.
Right? Otherwise, I mean, who would pay attention to anything she's doing if she's not attacking TYT? But anyway, continue, Jay.
Yeah. All right.
So I thought this was funny, and the reason I wanted to read this is Emma's tweet here. It sounds like a Dr. Seuss rhyme. Listen, gotta love the performative piousness of polymarket populists. What the fuck is that, Dr. Seuss? The performative piousness of polymarket populists. Polymarket populists? What the fuck does that mean? That sounds like some real big, like, do they must advertise with Polymarket, or what was, I don't know. Do liberals hate Polymarket now because of the election thing? Someone might have to educate me on that. Anyway, Polymarket populists coming for ally and movement partner Francesca Fiorentino, because she posted Cenk's own words coming from his mouth. Go back to your roots, ranking celebrity camel toes. Get your clicks that way as the rest of us oppose fascism. Talk about drama queening as we oppose fascism. Literally, all the stuff that Trump has done is stuff that the Democrats campaiaigned on, and I'm sure you've seen the videos of
it. We here now, stupid.
Let's keep going here. So this was a tweet that I think Anna Kasparian deleted, but just to show you like how petty this got, she goes, Emma, you should probably be open about the Harris campaign's ad buy on the Majority Report too. Maybe that's why you were cheering so hard for a woman who shooed away any left-wing activist who wanted to ask legitimate questions about her foreign policy in the Middle East. So it's funny to me now how the Young Turks have literally, Trump's election made them realize like how far behind they are, and that they suddenly became Jimmy Dore, the person who's kind of just speaking outside of the partisan, echo chamber and like just talking sense, no matter which way the wind blows on an issue, the political wind blows. There's, and by political wind, I mean, if you're a Democrat, you're going to think this about this issue. And if you're a Republican, you're going to think this about this issue, and Jimmy Dore is not that person. He's just an honest person who calls it like he sees it. And the Young Turks have never been that. And that's one of the reasons these people don't work with them anymore. But I digress. Emma Vigeland, I would argue, went somewhere even worse. Stan Cedar is even worse than the Young Turks. That guy is an MSNBC shill who he's like basically MSNBC on the internet. Completely fucking, frosted over bullshit, like frosted bullshit, if that's a term. If it isn't, it is now. frosted bullshit, basically stuff from the echo chamber of MSNBC land, brunch liberal hell. So anyway, to keep going here, here's this original tweet from Anna that I'm gonna read you now. I remember Emma telling me verbatim, I never have to work a day in my life if I don't want to because of how wealthy her family is. Your mom threw a nice little fundraiser for Senator Gillibrand in 2019, right? I bet someone can look that up. I bet you can verify if that's true or not. You gumshoes out there. I didn't do it yet, but I probably should have in preparation for the show. I'm sure there's got to be some kind of truth to it. Why would she just make that up? That's a very specific thing to make up, to pull out of your ass. Oh, your mom did a fundraiser for Senator Gillibrand in the year 2019 on December 31st at 12:17 p.m. I get why you're so attached to a party that fucked over the working class over and over again. So I don't really expect her to understand what it is like to live in a neighborhood that's been overrun with criminals due to the policies she preaches in the name of gaining social capital. Anna must have, there must be some homeless people living in her neighborhood or something in LA. So she's mad at the Democrats now for that. Fran did a hatchet job on Cenk, even though he was kind enough to waste his time going on her show in the name of openness and understanding. No, dude, if you go on these shows, you better expect to be hatcheted. The media culture in this country is so pussed out because of the last. Everyone just expects to we got to be nice, decorum. Let's be nice to each other. Let's not ask let's not ask difficult questions or make people be honest about why they believe the things they do or make them defend the things they believe on any level. Let's not do that. God forgive you if you do that. Jesus Christ. Friend today. So anyway, I knew he was making a mistake. These people aren't interested in building any coalitions. They're not open to understanding anything. They don't give a shit about winning policy goals. This is Jimmy Dore 10 years ago, literally. Literally, the worst thing Cenk ever did was open up the company to these people. They came in, leached off what he built, and turned on him for the clout the first second they could. That part of it, I don't think is completely. I think there's probably some truth to that. But I don't think, Jimmy, for example, people like Jimmy who were part of the Young Turks and then left and kind of started their own thing. He didn't build his brand on attacking the Young Turks, right? He just was Jimmy Dore from day one. I didn't even know he was on the Young Turks for a long time until he started talking about Aggressive Progressive, because I never watched Aggressive Progressives. It was one of the shows that they kind of buried. Anyway, also, tell me, Emma, since taking a sponsor is so unacceptable to you and the 4-person company you work for, how many of the dozens of employees at TYT should Cenk lay off to appease your judgmental ass? Tell us. So that last part I didn't quite understand until I realized she's defending them being funded by advertising. She's like, we have a big staff that we have to fund with advertising money. So once I thought about it in that perspective, it made a little bit more sense to me. So Emma snapped back with this banger of a tweet. This is clearly a lie and is not my reality. She also says MR did paid ads for the Harris campaign, ? Never happened. By the way, who did TYT sell their email lists to? So now it's getting catty, right? I knew it was a matter of time before Anna distorted our private convos for her own agenda. It's all she's got. Well, Anna also has a track record of doing that, as she did with Jimmy Dore. But it's funny to watch this play out because from that response that Emma made that there's some truth to the stuff that Anna said about her taking money from the Harris campaign, even though she denied it. So I'm curious. It'll be interesting to see how the Twitter sphere picks this up and if someone is able to prove that Majority Report took money from the Harris campaign. I wouldn't doubt that they did, maybe not directly, but probably through that's how they do it. They give their money to a studio or something, and then that studio gives the money to the influencer. It's like that. What's that guy, Harry Sisson, dude, that was on TikTok? He's like, well, the DNC doesn't pay me, and then someone just went and found the name of I think it was Ian Carroll that did that. He like went and found the fucking the name of the company that paid Harry Sisson and like found out that they're a Democratic Party or the DNC gives them money. So that gives them plausible deniability, right? So she can go on Twitter and be like, we didn't take any money from the Harris campaign. No, we took it through like a subsidiary that took their money and then gave it to us. We took it from an agency to support the Harris campaign. That's more than likely what happened. Anyway, I thought that was cute that these guys were kind of fighting about that. And, I try not to engage in too much gossip, but we're having a little bit of fun here. So,